Hello there everyone, my name is Ray and today we'll be diving into a theory I've created for the game Your Turn to Die. Though just a warning in advance, this video is going to contain spoilers for every single chapter of Your Turn to Die, that meaning literally since the beginning of the game up until the latest part, which as of recording is like 3-1B, I'm pretty sure. I think that's what it's called, so I'm gonna give you a second to log off if you care about spoilers and haven't finished the game yet. If you've seen any videos I've posted on TikTok or have been around me for more than a minute, you'd know I'm really interested in this web game series called Your Turn to Die. If you've watched or played the game, you would know in the first chapter of the game, Joe, Mishima, and Kai end up dying. Mishima died in a beta testing thing where they were testing out the voting system. Joe died due to pulling the sacrifice card, and Kai died by pulling the sage card and having everyone voting for him to die. Unfortunately, that's how the first chapter ends, having 3 deaths and 1 new character come along, which is named Gonbi, or Alice Ibusume, which we find out after interrogating him. Shortly after, we unlock the 3rd floor, completing all the mini-games in the sub-game, having either Reko Ibusume or Alice Ibusume die, the first case in the game of us actually being able to choose a death that can impact the game/story. After dealing with that and having either Reko or Alice die, we prepare for the main game, and instead of picking up cards like we did in the first chapter, we're assigned these devices that will show our cards and make noises when someone spends 50 Me tokens to make a trade and trade their card with someone else's. 5 trades are made before the main game starts, and we go into the main game having the commoner card, finding out that we either must choose between Shin Tsukimi or Kana Kazuchi. But what if we could have had a different outcome? I always found it a little strange, and after doing my research, I believe I found why. Real quick, I'm going to refresh your memory on what cards they are, what the cards do, and who ended up getting what cards at the end of the chapter. Keymaster has immunity to being voted if everyone knows that they're the Keymaster. If they do get voted, everyone will die. Sage knows who the Keymaster is via divination, but cannot lie about the results of the divination. The Sage will die unless they kill off a commoner instead, which in Chapter 2 was the case. Commoners are just simply there to lead the conversation and try to help. If they get voted, nothing happens besides them dying. Sacrifice. They must not let others know what they are. If they are discovered and not voted for, they will die, but if they do get voted, they get to live and pick one other person to save from the death game. Another thing that a sacrifice has is they are able to vote twice. I'm going to remind you who voted who in Chapter 2. So Keiji voted Kana, Kyutaro voted Shin, Reko or Alice, whichever one you kept alive, would vote Shin. Gin would vote Kana, Now would vote for herself 2 times. Shin would vote for himself, and Kana would vote for herself. That leaves a tie between 2 commoners. I found it kind of strange that the Sage was not one of the people in the last 4 to pick, and why this one was unlike the first main game that we witnessed. Well, if you played the second part and tried to vote for Keiji, Sara will say, "No, anything but that," insisting if we vote for Keiji, everyone would die. Now what if we replaced Keiji with Kyutaro, who has the Sage card? What would happen? Well, if Kyutaro was there and we voted for him, we would have one of the 3 possible outcomes happen. Outcome number 1, redo vote. Now you may be thinking, a redo vote? Would that really work? What if everyone does the same vote as they did before? Well, a redo vote, but the only votable options are Shin and Kana, forcing Now to vote for them as well. And judging by how Nankita writes, I would assume that Now puts 1 vote on Kana and 1 vote on Shin to make it even, leaving it up to Sara once again to choose the fate of both characters. If you've played up to 3-1B, the newest version as of now, it would still follow this story after, depending on who you choose. Personally, I find this one the least probable out of the 3. Outcome number 2, both commoners die. Honestly, this seems the most believable in the way that the floor masters decide our death. If both commoners were to die, leaving us with 3 missing members instead of 2, I wonder how that could actually impact the future events in the death game. Would we still have the difference between the logic and emotions route combined, or maybe it would be a completely different route? Though what I believe would happen would honestly be for a completely different video. Now, last one, outcome number 3, which is my personal favorite out of the 3, both commoners live, which means only Now would die. Personally, number 3 is my favorite one. Having both survivors live can result in it following the logic or emotions route, a mix of both logic and emotion, or possibly a slightly different story of both combined. If this chance is taken, I wonder if Renmaru would still go crazy over Sara's accidental manipulation. Would the other Ibusume still be saved, or would they die? Would we get both good and bad attributes of each style? Maybe I'll go into more detail of those for another day, but for now, that's all I have. If you like this content, I would suggest subscribing to see my future posts just like this. This video is made to test the algorithm of YouTube, and if it does well, I go into detail on my predictions of what would happen and outcomes 1, 2, and 3 were true. What do you think would happen if we vote for Kyutaro in a case like this? I'd love to hear your opinions and thoughts in the comments, but with all that being said, this is Ray signing off, and I'll see you soon.